Om Shri Sai Ram. Welcome to everyone to the 12th episode of the Sathya Sai Story, the beautiful divine story of our dear Swami, listening to which we are transported to the abode of peace and joy. This is sure to take us across this ocean of mundane existence, across this Bhavasagara to his divine lotus feet. In the previous episode, episode 11, which is at this link above, we saw how Swami became greatly detached and even wanted to take Samadhi back in 1948. Later, as recorded by Professor Kasturi in Ishwaramma, the Chosen Mother, Swami revealed that this was a period of great preparation for the avataric mission. What does Swami mean by this great preparation? In my opinion, this preparation is twofold. One, the physical frame of Swami was being prepared to hold and exhibit this avataric divinity for decades to come. Just have a look at this picture of Swami taken in the 1990s. Can anybody say that this body is 70 years old? No dye, and yet the hair is always black. No folds seen on the skin of the hand or the feet or anywhere else. Swami never had dentures. Swami's eyes were very sharp. He never made use of any spectacles. Wow, what an awesomely divine body! I remember Brother Satyajit, who had the blessing of taking care of Swami in the physical sense for almost 2 decades, sharing how when on one occasion he told Swami about a couple of people who seemed to be possessed by Swami, they were having Swami enter them, that is what they had said. Swami had got very upset and Swami said, "Nakenduku a padu shariram, why do I need such bad bodies?" Now when we look at this, Swami in the avataric mission has spent 3 months preparing that body. That is a very special body, the body of Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. He will not go and possess any other bodies. What a way to make fools of people. What a way to catch gullible and vulnerable people. That is how so many Sai Babas have cropped up even back then when Swami was physically around, and now they continue to crop up. They all grow, as they say, creation is divine, imitation is human. It is human tendency to imitate. So that is why they are all cropping. But the fact is, Swami's body was being prepared. This is one perspective. The other perspective, when I say as a time of preparation, is that many of the stalwart devotees who played key roles in the avataric mission happened to come to Swami, have his darshan and become devotees during this period. There are many, whether it is Sri Tiruvenkatam Shetty, whose residence Swami also went to, or Srimati Nagamani Purnaya, or Maharani Desraj Ars, or Sri Basavaraj Ars. All of these homes Swami stayed at in Bangalore when he was there. However, most of his time was spent at the residence of Srimati Doddamane Sakamma, the lady, the third mother to Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, about whom we have covered at this episode in this link above. Now, one of the major people, Swami's biographer, the first postmaster of Prashantiniliyam, Swami's translator, Swami's dear friend, Swami's very own Professor Kasturi, also came to Swami during this period. He had Swami's darshan at the residence of Sri Tiruvenkatam Shetty in 1948. So these 3 months of preparation, July, August, September in 1948, were very crucial, and that is the reason why we don't see any records of what happened during these 3 months, either in the books of Srimati Kuppam Vijayamma in Anyatha Sharanam Nasti, nor in Sri Sathya Sai Anandadai by Kannamma. These 2 books record a lot of the early years because this was the phase of preparation. Now, in this phase of preparation, another set of devotees who came to Swami, very important, very wonderful, and they establish a very important connection, as we shall see possibly in the next episode, is the Chincholi family. The Chincholi, the kingdom of Chincholi, which is in the present day district of Kalburgi in Karnataka. It borders both the states of Maharashtra as well as Andhra Pradesh. Raja Saheb Bhimsen Rao, the ruler of the Chincholi kingdom, was an ardent devotee of Shirdi Sai Baba as well as Akkalkot Maharaj. Now both of these personalities, divine personalities, were in the neighboring state of Maharashtra. He used to visit them often, and Shirdi Baba has visited and stayed with the Chincholi family in their kingdom at Chincholi for many days. I am saying this as a revelation because this is not recorded in the Sai Satcharitra nor in any other devotee books about Shirdi Baba, but the Chincholi kingdom history records Shirdi Baba having visited Chincholi kingdom. Now, Rani Lakshmi Bai, the queen of this king, was also naturally devoted to Shirdi Sai Baba, and once the king passed on, she continued in her devotions to Shirdi Sai Baba. Now, she had two sisters, Srimati Arani Rajamma and Srimati M.S. Sitamma. Now, both these sisters also got introduced to Shirdi Baba, and their children too were Shirdi Sai devotees. That's how it goes on from parents to the children. Now, Sri Krishna Swami, the son of Arani Rajamma, from a very young age had this strong desire to go and meet Shirdi Baba, but that desire never got fulfilled. In his later years, after his teenage years, when he got the opportunity to visit Shirdi, this is of course after Shirdi Baba had left the body, he felt a little bad that he could not meet Shirdi Baba. That is when he met Abdullah Baba, a devotee of Shirdi Baba who used to dress like Shirdi Baba only, and he would always say that he is a devotee of Baba and Baba does everything. And this Abdullah Baba came and told Sri Krishna Swami, Shirdi Baba will grant you darshan. Not just you, your whole family will have Shirdi Baba's darshan in the flesh. It is natural that the son came back and told his mother and his two sisters, Yamuna and Manjula, about this prediction from Abdullah Baba. Now, it is with this background we have to see how in 1947, Arani Rajamma and M.S. Sitamma, both these sisters, came to hear about the reincarnation of Shirdi Sai Baba. And because of this background, their curiosity was piqued and they got to know about him from a dear friend Sakku, who happens to be the sister of Srimati Nagamani Purnaya. You see how all of this is linked. And therefore, they went and had their first darshan of Swami at the residence of Srimati Sakamma at the behest of Nagamani Purnaya and her sister Sakku, and they were really wonderstruck by this young youth, this young Baba. This is back in 1947. Now, Swami told them to come to Puttaparthi also, and they did that. They travelled along with Srimati Nagamani Purnaya to Puttaparthi, and there when they got the opportunity to interact with Swami, they told Swami that we have not come here to get any of our desires fulfilled. Swami said, you might not have come with that objective, but it is my responsibility to bless my devotees and ensure that their lives are meaningful and fruitful. And then Swami told them everything about themselves, their parents. Not just that, Swami also told about the marital troubles that Sitamma was having, her estranged husband. Then Swami told about their children. And then Swami said, for Dasara, come along as the entire family, get your sister Maharani Lakshmi Bai also, get your mother as well. The mother's name was Namagiri Amma. So Swami said, get everyone and come for Dasara. And that is what happened. The sisters were so touched that along with their entire family, during the Dasara of 1947, they had come and participated in the Dasara celebrations. However, the sister whom Swami referred to, the Maharani, she refused to come. She did not come because she was loyal to her Shirdi Baba. And these sisters came and they participated. When they came, they had this one worry. See, after all, they are from the royal family. They are used to some amount of luxury and convenience. They were concerned about how they will get accommodated during Dasara, because it's a big festival, whether they will have a proper kitchen or not to cook their food. First of all, they are used to having somebody cook for them. Now they are ready to cook their own food, but they are hoping they get a good kitchen. And much to their delight, just as we saw in that previous episode, all these episodes that I'm referring to, in case you wish to see them, I have linked the entire playlist over here. You can have a look at all the episodes so far. So, just as Swami had reserved a tent for Balapatabhi and his mother, Swami had kept aside an accommodation along with a proper kitchen for the Chincholi family. They were so thrilled with how Swami had taken care of all their needs without them even expressing it. And Swami would come and inquire whether they are comfortable or not, whether everything is fine. And every time he would speak with the greatest humility and respect. Swami would not look at them at their face. He would not look them in their eyes. He would look at the ground and speak. Swami says his life is his message. Indeed, dear brothers and sisters, Swami showed how one must conduct oneself around women, around men, with children, with devotees, with anybody. We just have to see how Swami did and follow his actions. His life is his message. So, Swami blessed them and they had a wonderful Dasara celebration in 1947 with Swami, after which they became devotees. They were convinced that Swami is the same as Shirdi Baba. He is divinity, he is pure love, he is like their divine mother and father, and they kept visiting Swami many times. Swami materialized for them photographs, trinkets and other talisman, many things Swami materialized for them. So, the sisters of the Maharani of Chincholi became devotees of Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. I told you about the two daughters of Srimati Arni Rajamma, right? The first one's name was Yamuna, whom Swami used to call as Godavari. Why? Yamuna is the name of a river in India, a holy river associated with Lord Krishna. But since she was so devoted to Shirdi Baba, Swami would call her Godavari, a river that is associated with Maharashtra that comes close to where Shirdi Baba lived. And the younger daughter, her name was Manjula. Swami used to call her Chitravati, because this little girl, barely 9 years of age, was greatly devoted to Swami and she enjoyed a very special relationship with Swami. Now, as Yamuna or Godavari recounts, Swami used to grant them some very special sweet privileges. When Swami was staying in Bangalore, Swami would be taken to Lal Bagh. Lal Bagh is a beautiful botanical garden. Sakama would take Swami around. Since the residence of Arni Rajamma was close to Sakama's house, Swami would get the car to halt before their home and tell the driver to honk. The driver would press the horn and both Yamuna and Manjula, that is Godavari and Chitravati, the two rivers would come flowing towards their ocean, towards their Karuna Sagara Swami. Swami would open the car door and grant them Padanamaskar, bless them and then go on. Many times Swami did this halt in front of their homes to grant them special blessings. So you see how special Swami became to them and how special they became to Swami. Let's now come to the May of 1948. This is the year now we are in, right? When Swami had this detached face and all of that. In this summer, May of 1948, it's very, very hot during summer in Puttaparthi, and the two sisters, Arni Rajamma and Sitamma, had come to Puttaparthi to have Swami's darshan. They had come with their children. That time, when Swami was taking all the devotees to the Chitravati, the sisters observed that Swami is not wearing footwear, and therefore Yamuna ran and got footwear for Swami and she wanted to offer it to Swami. In the meanwhile, this little kid, 9-year-old Manjula, she snatched the footwear and went and offered it to Swami. Swami was very happy with her. He patted her on her head and then Swami asked her, "What do you want?" She did not say anything. So Swami made it more clear. Swami asked, "What do you want? Do you want bhakti, bhukti, shakti or mukti?" Bhakti means devotion. Bhukti means the greatest enjoyment. Shakti means power. And mukti, we know, is liberation. This little girl, 9 years old, said, "Swami, I want mukti." Then Swami told her, "You want mukti, but what will then happen to your parents who will become very sad if you get mukti?" She just said, "Swami, that you will take care, but I want mukti." And the Lord saw that in this little devotee's eyes, They were burning embers of devotion, burning yearning towards the Lord. And Swami said, if that is your desire, you will have mukti in 1 week. And then turning to the mother, that is Arni Rajamma, Swami said, enjoy your daughter for the next 1 week. These words are so profound and prophetic. Now after this, they returned back to Bangalore because the summer was getting over and the school would start. The day 1 of school, this is exactly 1 week after that interaction between Swami and Manjula. This Manjula, Swami's Chitravati, tells her mother that she is having a headache and she does not want to go to school. The mother thinks that this is a silly excuse this girl is making up, and it normally happens at the end of a vacation. No child would like to go back to school again. So she says, no, you must go to school. But Manjula is adamant. She says, no, I don't want to go to school. I'm having a headache. The mother scolds her. But when the child is so adamant and no amount of scolding is working, the mother agrees. And even as the mother agrees, this little child begins to throw up. She begins vomiting so much and becomes so weak. So the mother immediately tells her to take rest, and they are wondering what needs to be done. She has another bout of vomiting an hour later, and with that, she just passes on with a smile on her face. At that very moment, in Puttaparthi, Swami tells all the devotees who have gathered around, Manjula has reached me, Chitravati has come. Swami's words, I get goosebumps even as I am narrating this. Swami had told her, in 1 week you will get your mukti. And Swami had told the mother, enjoy your daughter for 1 more week. The very next day, Swami travels from Puttaparthi to Bangalore. He comes there to the residence of Srimati Desaraj Ars, and there he meets with Arni Rajamma and this family and tells this was the yearning and desire of the devotee, and this was her karma to get this from me, and she has achieved it. She has attained my lotus feet. In her book Sri Sathya Sai Anandadayi, Karunamba Ramamurthy Kannamma records how on one occasion she had an opportunity to ask Swami some spiritual questions, one of which was about children who die young. And Swami had told her that when any child dies before attaining the age of 15, know for sure that that child is a Karana Janma. What is meant by Karana Janma? Karana Janma simply translates into birth with a purpose. These are beings that have come very close to achieving liberation, the ultimate moksha. But a few karmas are left. In order to wipe out those karmas, these souls choose appropriate parents, choose appropriate circumstances, take birth, quickly finish their karma, and then leave with whatever earthly reasons. It may be, a sickness, a vomiting, a cardiac arrest, a stroke, whatever it might be, but those are just worldly reasons. After this, Swami tells the sisters, that is Arani Rajamma and Sitama, once again to get their sister for the coming Dasara, at least upcoming Dasara in 1948. Now at the same time, Rani Lakshmi Bai at Chincholi has a very interesting dream. In the dream, she sees a young man with curly hair, with a mop of hair, wearing a robe, coming and telling her, Amma, I have come. I am the same Shirdi Baba. Why don't you come and see me? And she is shaken by this dream, and that is how finally the Rani travels to Bangalore, and she too has Swami's darshan at the residence of Shri Basavaraj Ars. This is her first darshan of Swami, and she is definitely having a lot of reverence and respect at this point in time because of the dream, her experience, and she already has love for Shirdi Baba. So if this is her Shirdi Baba come again, her love and devotion naturally transmits. But the experience which clinched the deal, which made it very clear to the Maharani that this is divinity, happened sometime later in 1948. The Maharani was at her kingdom in Chincholi, and as I said, her kingdom bordered the kingdom of Hyderabad. Now at this point in time in 1948, Hyderabad was going through very tumultuous times. This as we have already seen with the case of Sandur, was a period when all the princely kingdoms were being annexed into the Indian Republic. The British did a lot of chaos, did a lot of nonsense while leaving also. They told all the princely states that they could either merge with India or with Pakistan. They had already partitioned India and caused a lot of pain and havoc. And they told the independent kingdom they could align with any one of these two countries, or they could choose to remain independent. They just left a mess when they were leaving. It was the Nizam's dominion in Hyderabad, and he was a Muslim. And yet his kingdom was majorly constituted by Hindu subjects. Now all the subjects wanted to merge with India, whereas the Nizam's advisors strongly advised him against merging with India. And he became a puppet in the hands of a few of these vested interest Muslims, extreme Muslims I would say, because the conservative Muslims as well as the Hindus wanted to become one with India. These extremists took up very terrorist kind of activities against the majority of the populace. This is known as the Razakar rebellion, the Razakar violence, which claimed more than 40,000 lives. They were fighting against the majority of the people. There used to be rapes, murders, killings. All of this used to happen, and all this why? Because they wanted Hyderabad to remain as a separate state. Now it was in the height of this tension that a messenger reached the Maharani's residence with an invitation, a personal invitation from Swami, telling her to come for Dasara in 1948. Now she was setting out along with her daughter Padma in the car at that point in time. She took this invitation along and they set off, and in no time they were surrounded by the Razakar forces. Now the Maharani was very tense. She knew that her life and her daughter's life was in danger because they were Hindus. When this was happening, she took out that invitation card, placed it on her daughter's head and prayed to Baba. She said, "If you are divinity, if you are the supreme power of the universe, please protect at least my daughter." The car was stopped by the Razakars, the window was rolled down. And then, to her pleasant shock, the person who looked inside said, "These are women, they should not be touched. Let the car go safely." She could not believe her ears. This has never happened to anybody, and she has been seeing and hearing the news of all the things that are happening. With great gratitude as well as joy in her heart, she proceeded to safety, and as I said, this sealed the deal for her. She became a devotee of Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, and she definitely made it a point to be there for the Dasara of 1948. The Dasara of 1948 naturally was very special for the Rani of Chincholi, but it's also very special because this was the first celebration after Swami came out of that phase of intense detachment. The Dasara also marked a major victory because this Razakar rebellion was put down by the Indian armed forces in the September of 1948 under the leadership of the Iron Man of India, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, in an operation called Operation Polo. The Dasara of 1948, birthday celebrations of 1948, and more importantly, Swami's visit to the Chincholi home in Hyderabad in 1949, early 1949, we will see in the next episode. This is very important because it establishes an unmissable and undeniable proof of connection between Shirdi Baba and Sathya Sai Baba. But before concluding this episode, let me recount one more incident that happened on the 17th of May 1948. Swami inaugurated the Ramaswamy temple in the Puttaparthi village. Now the 17th of May happened to be the festival of Sri Ramanavami, and that is the occasion Swami inaugurated this temple. Now this temple in the village was financed by the Raja of Mirjapuram in the Godavari district of Andhra Pradesh, and the idols were brought from Tiruvannamalai. Swami blessed them and installed them. Swami has also blessed another Rama temple in the village of Puttaparthi. To this day, this temple exists near the Gokulam, the second temple that I'm talking about, and Swami had visited and consecrated and blessed the idols there also. We have some photographs of that, as you can see. So with that, we come to the close of this episode and we await the next episode. Dear Swami, we are grateful for this opportunity to relive your glories and stories. May the love that we have for you in our heart keep growing stronger every passing moment. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.